What if I told you there's a game that changes its mountain every single day? As a real-life climber, I just had to check it out. I've been rock climbing for about 3 years now, and I also have some close friends who rock climb as well. It has been an important part of my life to not only go outside and touch some grass, but to also travel, get physically healthy, and have amazing social interactions with a lot of cool people. I don't really like socializing that much, but climbing kind of forces you to do that. Someone could be working on the same climb that you are, there is a lot of downtime between climbs for resting, and the amazing people that do climb all have a new story to tell. I can go on and on about why I love climbing so much, but this video isn't about climbing, but a video game about climbing. Whenever there's a new climbing game, me and my friends always want to check it out. There aren't a lot of climbing games to begin with, and some games have some restrictions like needing to have a VR headset, or the gameplay isn't as enjoyable as the real deal. In hindsight, climbing is all about solving the mountain or solving the climb. Figure out what kind of body position you need to get up and what kind of techniques you might need to use to not fall. It can get really complicated and physically taxing, but it is really hard to replicate climbing in its entirety. Peak, the video game in question, doesn't have the complicated intricacies of climbing, but there are a lot of reasons why I will say that this is a game that not only climbers should play, but non-climbers as well. Peak does a lot of things right, and has a lot of charm that many video games miss when it comes down to climbing, and just offers a great fun-filled experience. It does have some issues that I want to address, but it doesn't break the experience of it. Here is what Peak is all about.
Oh shit. No way! Oh! Bruh! Hey yo, watch your step, cuz! Just sniped his ass!
Alright, would you like to do the honors? Ah, yeah, where's it coming from? Oh, it's like coming.
You think we got
I think we might have enough players, dude. We're here, baby. Look at us. Killing it. Let's finally dive into the game and see what it does right and what it does wrong. When you first boot up into the game, you are greeted with a cute little menu screen where we can select to be a host for a game or play a solo climb. It also has a timer counting down on when the mountain will change into a different one. This in particular is one of the most fascinating features this game has. I tried emailing the Peak developers so I can interview them or just ask a few questions about Peak's development and how the mounts were made. Unfortunately, I didn't get a response in time for this video, but I already figured some things out on my own. The most important question I had was about the mountains. This timer on the side is the countdown for when the current mountain will be replaced with an entirely new mountain. Every day, Peak's mountains will be entirely different from all previous mountains. The biggest question I had for them was, how were their mountains made? Now, at first, there were two possibilities. One was that the mountains were procedurally generated. Procedurally generated worlds are worlds where we use a lot of complicated math and randomness to generate how the terrain will look. Think of stuff like Minecraft and Terraria. There are some rules that the developers describe so the world will look a certain way, but still be random in a lot of areas. No one world will look the same. The other way that these mountains could be made was that they have a backlog of over 100 mountains where they can randomly select what would be next. I didn't want to entirely get rid of the second possibility, as it could be true, but after playing this game for many hours and being a game developer myself, I know for sure that these mountains are most likely procedurally generated, which has its ups and downs. The ups are what we described before. Every single mountain will be entirely different from basically all other mountains. This gives the game a whole bunch of replayability for a lot of people and casual gamers. The downsides are for the speedrunning community and also begs the question, are all mountains completable? Since the game takes care of creating the new mountains, sometimes it can make a mistake where it would be really difficult for some people to climb a certain area and almost seem impossible without the use of certain items. We will get to the items in a bit, but the reason why it's a downside for the speedrunning community is because the game is basically not possible to speedrun. Speedrunning for almost every game is about doing the same route over and over again, doing better tricks, better movement, and maybe finding faster routes. This all goes into disarray once randomness is put into the equation. The more randomness the speedrun has, the more likely it won't be a good speedrunner game, as a lot of skill will just be luck. Now, that isn't the case for all games, but for Peak, making 2 people climb the same mountain for the speedrun is really hard to do. The issue is, only on one day can a speedrunner be able to get to the top as fast as possible. The next day, it will be a different mountain, meaning it will be a different route, and meaning it might be easier to get a better time or harder. Also, the randomness of the items inside of the briefcases don't help. Basically, what I'm trying to say is there's too much randomness and not enough consistency for the game to be a fun speedrun. Learning new movement tech will be a big factor on how you can get to the top, but since the mountain is random every day, it will be hard to compare times between 2 different mountains, as one time might be better, but is only because it is easier, and vice versa. It would be cool if they could include a different mode where they keep a mountain up for like a week or a month, and speedrunners can enjoy the mountain, and then people can compete for a prize of some sorts. There can be a leaderboard, and the times reset when a new mountain will happen next month. Could be a fun and interactive way to get more players like speedrunners, and also be able to have a more connected community. You can also do different leaderboards for solo players, duos, trios, and quads, so you can see how much faster or slower having a certain number of people can make it. I'm just saying, Peak developers, this could be a cool and pretty easy way to have a great speedrunning game. Let's finally move on from the little timer and go to the settings. The settings for this game is pretty bare bone, but I expect it to have more customizability as the game updates, and it already is good enough for me to have an enjoyable experience. I was waiting for my friends for about an hour already to hop onto the game and play, but I just couldn't wait and booted up the game as a solo player, and these are my very first reactions and playthrough moments that I had. I guess I get my own pack. No way. I'm climbing this right now. So how do I do it? Okay, I got right hand out. And what do? I click? Oh, I'm climbing. You would not believe how happy I was to see this rock climbing wall. It is such a small little detail and fun little lobby waiting area that really brings the charm out. The mirror was also a fun little cute addition that didn't really need to be added, but was an amazing thing to have. I always love booting up a new game, as there is a fun journey of finding out all the cool features and experiences you can have with it. I was doing most of the experience finding solo, but in my opinion, I should have waited an hour and experienced them with my friends. We are going to talk more about that later, but let's continue with my first solo journey experience. The customizable features for your character was a fun little find, and all the options are amazing. There are a lot of options already, but I wouldn't be surprised if they added more in the coming updates. Some of these customizable features needed to be unlocked through playing the game and gathering achievements, but the starting options for your character, color, and face features are already very customizable. When I first boot up a game, as a gamer, I know that if I try clicking buttons or doing things around the lobby, I will find more surprises. That is when I found out we have emotes. This game has already surprised me with an amazing lobby, great customizability, and fun emotes that enhance the experience. One problem I have with all of this, and is not fault of the developers, is that this game is for sure meant to be played with people. Playing solo is not a terrible experience, and I had some enjoyment playing the game, but all of this would have been 10 times better with another person. Experiencing all of these things with another friend would have been legendary. We would have probably sat in the lobby for at least 15 to 20 minutes before starting, goofing around, as there is just that much experience you can get with these few features. So if you're going to play this game for the first time, boot it up with a friend, you will enjoy it so much more. Let's actually start climbing the mountain now. The game is very simple to understand. You are a scout that crash landed on an island, and you need to get on top of a mountain so you can shoot a flare and be saved. You have a stamina bar that goes down while you run and while you climb. Your stamina bar will get shorter as you take fall damage, eat poisonous fruit, carry more stuff, and also if you get hungry. Your stamina bar is the most important resource you have, and the shorter it is, the more likely you will perish trying to climb the mountain. The gameplay is pretty simple as well. Find a route to get up to the mountain and collect equipment, find suitcases with a bunch of random items, and explore the environment on the way. One thing that is very different from what I was expecting was that the game was basically a roguelike. There are no checkpoints, there is no saving and quitting, you need to climb the whole thing in one sitting. This, in my opinion, is bad, but also kind of good. On one hand, every time you climb up the mountain, you can get different equipment which could change your route or make it easier, and since you probably got past one point during the first time you climbed it, the second time will be easier as the mountain doesn't change until the next day. On the other hand, it takes quite a bit of time to finish climbing the whole mountain. The first time I completed the mountain, it took almost 2 hours to do it, which is a lot of time if you are a very busy person. That is also climbing it successfully after failing like 2 times before, with those 2 other sessions probably taking another 2 hours. I do believe the game does at least need a checkpoint system when you complete one set of the mountains. Every mountain has 5 different biomes or sections you need to climb, and after completing one, it could be a good place to maybe put a checkpoint so a friend group can stop and continue again later on in the day. It might also be a good decision to create a way to climb previous mountains for speedrunning purposes, and also just so a friend group that can't get on often have an option to climb one mountain and experience all of it before moving on to next. Like what I talked about before, where you can have a mode where a mountain stays up for longer. It could kill the charm a little bit, and if you didn't experience it the first time, you will never experience it again. But as a game developer, myself, it could be an easy and fun addition to get more players to experience more of the game. Playing solo isn't bad, but this game truly shines with friends. From reviving each other to just messing around in the lobby, everything becomes more immersive, more fun, and more memorable. This game kind of reminds me of another game that is getting released quite soon called Big Walk. It will be a game where you walk and talk. Wait, that's it? I should have made that. It's freaking genius! Anyways, the objective for this game though is a little bit more interactive as you need to climb a mountain, but for the most part, all you kind of do is talk about life, make funny jokes, have a debate, prank your friends,
You don't want to step, bro.
and just enjoy each other's company while helping them scale a mountain. Scaling the mountain is also enhanced with other people, as the comedy of your friends slipping off a slope and dying will always be funny.
Wait! Hold on! Here! No! Just... No!
Some features are also only seen in a group setting, like helping each other up, so people with more weight or worse stamina can rely on the bigger stamina pools of the other climbers. Same thing with some of the items. It is way easier for your friends to put stuff in a backpack, as all they have to do is turn around and you can just slot it in. In single player, you need to take off the backpack, drop it on the floor, and then put the item in it and pick it back up. That is where some of the tediousness comes in. Same thing with the rope, where a friend with better stamina can climb up a certain section and then bring down a rope for the heavier climber with the backpack. If you are single player, you need to drop the backpack, scale what you need to climb, drop down a rope, climb down to your bag, and then finally climb back up the rope. The tediousness does not kill the game for the single player experience. All it does is entice more people to play with others, as you can get around all these loopholes. Some other features you don't see when playing alone is carrying your friend while they are down and hopefully reviving them. Or they die, turn into a ghost where they can talk to you and help you climb up the mountain because they have a better point of view than the climber. Or you can be my friends and block my view.
Get out of my face! Get out of my face! Oh, there's something right there. Holy shit, I saw it.
I didn't finish talking about the items though. There are a lot of them, and they all do some cool things that can help you scale the mountain. It might be entirely possible to skip a whole section just because you guys got good items in order to climb straight up. These items can give you infinite stamina, a speed boost, extra climbing energy, rope cannons, and just so much more. The items make almost every single climb up the same mountain entirely different, as a certain route might be possible with the items you got on your first playthrough, but the second time might not be possible with the items you got. I can't wait to see what other items the developers add, because there are a lot of possibilities. Now, this one simple and amazing feature completed this game to being an absolute classic.
You can
Dude, there's
barely
like
hear
an
his
echo
ass.
effect. There's an echo effect.
Yeah, you can. Yo, Nick!
Did you hear that? That was an echo. Something that was not needed but heavily appreciated by me and my friends. It was peak. Like the game. I'm actually so grateful to these developers for creating a fun climbing game. It isn't too difficult, it has a lot of uniqueness, and it includes features that I have never seen or features that only enhance my experience with it. Thank you Landcrab for creating this game, and thank you for watching this video. These videos wouldn't be possible without the amazing support of you guys. I want to branch out more and more of my content to not only include League of Legends, as gaming in general is just such a big part of my life. And I also don't want to do gaming videos as well. I would love to talk about all my interests in life if possible. It just comes down to viewership. If you love unique social gaming experiences, or you just want to scale a mountain while laughing with your friends, give Peak a shot. If you liked this video and you want to help me climb to my goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, please hit that like and subscribe button. It is completely free. Thanks again for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.